This time, on Irate Garage, I replace every brake line on this 1981 Cadillac Fleetwood Brougham coupe. This is gonna suck. Those of you who are a little more observant will notice that the engine isn't in the car. I'm currently in the process of swapping out the original V864 6.0 liter for a Cadillac 500. And while I have the engine out, it's going to make it a lot easier to get to the proportioning valve and the little clips that are along the frame that are holding the lines down. If you're doing brake lines, get yourself the best line wrenches you can get. Sometimes they're called flare wrenches. It'll make your life that much easier as opposed to using an open end wrench. Just give it a little smack. It comes loose. There we go. Might be a different size. Oh, it is the same. A lot of times they're a different size, and that helps keep the front and rear reservoirs separated. So this is what I was talking about, these little clips. Just a light tap with the impact. It should come right out. You don't want to go too nuts on that. It's just a little clip a lot of times that are holding these in, and you can actually break them in the process of doing that. So just a little zip zip, nothing too crazy. And then down here is the proportioning valve itself. I ended up pulling both lines anyway. Turns out that the clip holds both of them together. I have a pre-bent brake line kit from Inline Tubes. I've used these guys for many years and I've had pretty good luck. So all I'm going to do now before I get in the car is check and make sure that the lines are correct, or at least close. It's like I got to tweak the big one just a bit. But actually, now that I think about it, when I took this one off, it kind of shot over. So I bet that one's dead on. The rear brake line, the smaller one, looks like I might have to tweak it a little bit. But I should be able to get it into the car and then tweak it then. I think I'll do that, and I'll just show you the end result. So now I have the new lines in. While these are bent pretty good, I had to massage this guy just a little bit to get it to reach and get it to where I could get that clip back in there. You want to reuse those clips if you can, because it'll keep the lines from rubbing on each other, and if they're vibrating too much, they'll actually unscrew themselves. So that's the finished product down here, at least with those two lines. That's your proportioning valve, and see with the bell housing right there, not a whole lot of room to work if you had the engine in here. That's why I decided to just go ahead and do these now. That and all the other lines in the car are bad. They all leak. And I did have to unplug the brake warning light switch. It just too fat. It wouldn't let me get the line wrench on there. So now I can move on to the easier lines. Still coming off the proportioning valve. We got this guy here, which is the driver's side front. And this line down here is the passenger side front. I'll loosen both of those lines up, and then I'll do them both in the wheel well where they go into the hose. Replacing hoses too. I have forgotten that I had already undone that. And I'm going to replace the hoses, and I'm going to show you how to take care of these clips super quick and super easy. Just grab it the best you can with a pair of pliers, vice grips, like that. Just kind of work it, and either it'll break or it'll turn like that. Get a better bite on that, like so. Get yourself a brass hammer. If you're gonna hit a tool with a hammer, a brass one will do less damage. And then just like that, easy peasy. And then to put it on, it's the same, but reverse. Again, brass hammer, anything stuck. You can always use an impact if you got hands. There you go. This is one of those do as I say, not as I do things. You should really replace these brass washers. I am not. I am going to be replacing all of this gross, nasty, crusty, probably not working crap later. But for right now, I am just going to reuse the line, or reuse those brass washers. There's one in the caliper too that's stuck to it. So I'm going to save the new ones for the new caliper. So I'm not even going to tighten that. I'm just going to put it together. Hoses are indexed a lot of times. It helps keep them from kinking or getting caught in suspension components. So we want to get that in there. There we go. Like so. And then the clip, put the clip back in. There's a little kind of a notch there in the hose. And I put them on the same way I take them off. Make sure it's lined up, because you'll just break it. Just like that. Get that out of the way. Make sure it's seated appropriately. Maybe give her a little extra tap just to make sure. Alrighty. Alright, now I'll get that line out of the way and go find its replacement. Just like that. Nice and easy. What size is that? Thing I'm seeing is it is rubbing the body a little, or rubbing the frame a little here. I want a clearance. We're a little bendy. There we go. I'll grab a line wrench. I'm gonna go ahead and snug this up now. Largely, this is one of those jobs where you want to make sure everything's fitting right first. There we go. Perfection. This side's done. Rinse and repeat for the other side. I didn't forget nothing. So this is the line I really wanted to do the engine out of the way. With all these clips and trying to fish it around the oil pan did not seem like a good time to me. So now I have that line in. I still have to attach the clips, but I'm also replacing the fuel lines and fuel return lines on this car, and the return lines share the clips. So I don't want to tighten those up yet. Nice, fancy, and new. So now I have to head under the car and do the line going from the proportioning valve to the rear axle. Now I was able to get the line off of the proportioning valve. Unfortunately, all the clips that hold the brake line in place are rusted to hell, and I can't get any of them to come loose. That is the brake line going into the brake hose, going through the frame. But I can't get a line wrench on that. So I am going to cut it, knock the clip off, and push it through, run the new line, use whatever clips I can, and call it good enough. Sometimes working on old cars ain't pretty. In fact, a lot of times it's downright ugly. I was able to remove the rear brake line from the proportioning valve. All the clips along the frame are rusted up, and I really can't get to them. This is not my happy face. I think I might call it for the day. I'm tired, I'm crabby, I'm wiped out. Unfortunately, that's the pitfalls of working on your own stuff, especially when it's old and a project. Sometimes you just got to call it a day and come back. Yeah, that's all there is to it. It's either be the end of the video or a break where I'll come back later. I'm not sure. The front's done. That went just fine. This car was parked for about 20 years on concrete, and everything underneath is pretty rusty. So I think I'm going to call it for the day. Come back to it. Sometimes it's just what you got to do. The fun has stopped. And if you're anything like me, once the fun stops, I should stop. Powering through, pushing through, usually ends up in very bad decisions being made. And yeah. Anyway, see you later, guys. If you enjoy frustration, please like and subscribe. Well, it's the next day. Coming back to it fresh and hopefully with a clear mind. A lot of times when you walk away and you come back to a project, things that were fighting you will just, boom, come together. So I'm gonna get everything fired up and start working on it. I don't know how much I'll film. There's a lot of farting around and you really can't see what I'm doing. Either I can see or you can see. Trying to make it so we both can. Not so much, but I'll try to show you what I've done. Yeah, this is fun. To be fair, I've already made way more progress than I had yesterday. I don't know. I'm not sure what I did different, but sometimes just coming back clear-headed, if you can, will help a lot. I couldn't figure out why this was so difficult, other than this is where the floor pan dips for the rear passenger footwell. And then apparently this car had been hauled on a trailer or something, and the frame rail is actually pushed up right here. Or maybe somebody tried jacking it in the wrong spot. That has made this exceedingly difficult. Thankfully, my gear wrench 120 tooth XP is doing the job swimmingly. Look at that. Victory is mine. Unfortunately, there's a clip above that filter housing, and I gotta remove that filter anyway, so maybe I just do that now. I have to look at it and think about it. This is one of the things I didn't want to deal with yesterday. In GM's infinite wisdom, there is a bolt back here, right there, and I can't get a socket on it. So I think I'm going to bend this plate around. That ought to be entertaining. Boy, GMs sure love to zip tie wires to lines for some reason. They just love doing it. It's all over under this thing. and in the engine bay. Now that's out of the way. Let's see if I can cause some harm to this. So I'm gonna bend this out of the way. Yeah, like that. Sometimes working on cars isn't pretty. This is one of those times. Bitch. What the fuck? Is it seriously a different size? What? Is that even a half inch? Did GM fucking change the size halfway through this project? Ugh. This isn't even the part that I anticipate being the problem. See, this is what I'm talking about. I swear everything was half inch. And then I get to this one, and it's a 13 millimeter. And I'm sure they were all 13 millimeters, but this is an era of GM and Cadillac specifically that half the car is metric and half the car is standard. It even says it in the damn service manual. It's on the first page of the service manual for the car, for the technicians at the dealerships, saying, hey, half this car is going to be metric. Have fun. Well, this line is free now. I don't know how I'm going to get the new one in here in one piece. I guess that's a future me problem. Oh, I better go that way a little bit. Ah, have a leak. Oh, there's another break in the line. Oh, good, nice puddle of brake fluid to lay in. Gross. So I got my vice grips on there. Fortunately, I really can't set this up so I can show you, but I'm hoping I can hit that with my hammer and pull the clip out. Oh, and then I can pull the hose off. Victory is mine. It actually wasn't even that bad. I got to pull the hose out and do the other brake lines on the axle. So I got the brake hose off the axle right here, and I was complaining that it seems like everything is, half of it is standard and half of it is metric. And once again, it came up again because the bolt was half inch. After I just came across a, what was it, a 13 millimeter bolt holding something else on the same line of parts, like brake line to the hose. This is the one that holds the hose to the axle. Standard. Whereas before, it was everything that. The joy of GM in the 80s. I love these hubcaps. It's my favorite thing about the 81s. That actually hit me in the arm with something. So I'm taking a little break on that main line from the front to the back. Just getting this stuff done. Because, well, I don't want to deal with that right now. The lines will break a lot of times when they're this rusty. And that's okay. I'll just go ahead and let them break. There. I already got the other end. GM use these little clips. Sometimes you just get the line out of them. These are little, oh, there you go. You made me do that. All right, give them a little tweak. Get the line out, not too much because you break those tabs off. There we go. That one's out. So now I have the new lines in on the rear axle. I left that nut on top of the pumpkin loose when I put the lines in. And I'm also, I haven't attached them to the wheel cylinders yet because I'm going to replace those, just not right this second. This might be slightly different. Air mirror. Oh no, I've screwed up. All this needs to go below the line. Sometimes you do it right, but you do it twice. Oh good, oh good, I put a big bend in it. There we go. Doesn't this look fun? I can't see a fucking thing. Doo-dah, doo-dah. And this, for whatever reason, is practically pointed in the wrong direction. Hello. Oh, much better, yeah. No wonder it didn't go in. It wasn't remotely lined up. Ooh, I think I got it. I hope I got it. If not, bad things will be said. Oh, finally. It's in. Well, there we go. All the brake lines are in. I did not hook up the rear wheel cylinders because I'm replacing those. And I didn't put all the clips in because a lot of the clips are shared with the fuel line. And I want to replace the fuel lines as well. It's really comfortable, these Fleetwoods. Gotta fix the headliner. But it's a project. And something you need to keep in mind when you're working on a project is that it's just a project. Theoretically, you're doing it for fun. And now I get frustrated pretty easy. I need to remember to walk away when things start getting out of hand, like they did yesterday. Just get frustrated, nothing I was doing was working. Today, things that yesterday seemed impossible were just fine. It's not always easy, and I'm not a professional. So it kind of moves at the speed of DIY and cash. The next task for this car is fuel lines. I have them, again, from inline tube, and any issues I had with the tubing, I probably mangled it in the process. I don't remember if they actually had lines listed for this car or if I just picked something close. I think I might have just picked something close. So any deviation or variation in what it seemed like it should have been, it could have been up to that. But everything threaded in, a little massaging, it all worked. Hope this video made sense. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please consider liking and subscribing. More frustration is sure to be on the way. See you later, guys.